Today, we're going to carve a piece of plywood. We get a lot of questions, especially when it comes to like big signs, if you can carve plywood. The short answer is yes and no. It just depends on the plywood. One thing you have to make sure you look for when you're choosing your piece that you're gonna carve is a thick veneer. The thing about carving plywood with a thin veneer is if you want a clean sign without any rustic look or any weathered look, you have to be really careful not to sand through the top veneer. Otherwise, you're gonna see the plies underneath it. It's gonna look really funky. You just won't get a clean look. So the thickness of the top veneer is key when choosing plywood. So what we're carving today is the stencil of the month for March of 2024. This is the Wishin' I Was Fishing stencil. I will leave links in the description below for this stencil, plus all the bits and the base plate we use, all of our different supplies, so you can head over to makeawoodsign.com and check them out. So let's get started and see how this stuff carves. So we're using a piece of 3/4 inch birch plywood. I think it's birch, pretty sure. But for the layout on this, I just eyeballed it. Now, if you're doing something where a stencil is only one part of the sign, a good idea is to mark where you want it first if you're gonna flip it over and add this double-sided tape. Now, I did it on this because this stencil has a little tiny bit of a bow, and it just helps it to stick on the wood a little bit better. It really works well. I'll put that in the description as well so you guys can check that out. Once I have the stencil on the board and it's nice and flat, then I'm just going to use my primer and make sure I get a good solid outline. Now, the thing about this double-sided tape is that sometimes it will leave a little residue, but it comes right off. You can see I'm just kind of rubbing that stuff with my glove. It just kind of comes off. It really, really works well. The first bit I'm using is a profile bit at 1/8 of an inch deep, and I'm using that for the bass. Now, this is a pretty small little area to carve, so I don't want to go too deep on this, just because I want to make sure I get my outline, and also this is my first time carving this particular piece of plywood, so I wasn't sure how it was going to do. It's always a good idea to start off shallow when you're carving a new piece of wood. Now I dropped it down to a little bit deeper because these lines are a little thick. But what I'm doing here, if you'll notice, I'm actually staying to the inside of the line. So when you have a line that's a little thicker than your router bit, pick one side, follow that all the way, and then come back and clean up the other side. It's not a good idea to split the difference. Now I've dropped my router bit down to right around 1/4 of an inch deep, and I'm doing the outline of the guy fishing. So this plywood carves okay. It's consistent, which is good. There's no hard soft, but it honestly kind of feels like it drags on the router bit a little bit. It's kind of a weird feeling, but it's definitely doable. Now I'm going to go in and give myself a little bit more room to take out the rest of the wood in that bass. Real quick, guys, we're on a campaign to try to hit 100,000 subscribers this year. It's a huge goal that we're working towards. So if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon and leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know if there's anything that you want to see done. Now that the profile work is done, I'm using the 60-degree bit at 1/8 of an inch deep. So I'm going a little bit shallow on this one as well because the top line of wording on this stencil is real narrow, especially when it comes to the points. The hardest part of this whole sign was actually the point of the W right here. Now for me personally, when I try to make a point, especially with the 60-degree bit, I feel a little bit better dropping it into that and pulling it towards the wider areas. Dad actually likes to go from the wider areas and push it towards the point and lift it out. So there's different ways you can do it. Just for me, it seems to work a little bit better and I have a little bit more control when I'm dropping it in. One question we get on a pretty regular basis is, when you're doing lettering like this and there's a little bit of wood left, do you use the 60-degree to go back and take it out, or do you just wait, change bits, and do it with a 90? The reality is you can use either one,
But because of the way we like to do it, and because we have multiple routers with different bits in it, if there's small letters like the wishing area right there, I'll just do it with my 60-degree bit. Even the middle line, I do it with the 60-degree bit. But if it's any wider than, say, 1/8 of an inch, I'll usually come back with the 90-degree. It just depends on the lettering. One thing to be aware of when carving plywood is the chipping. So the middle of the A, the very top of it, the top part of the veneer actually chipped off. Now Dad said, hey, don't worry about it, nobody will ever be able to tell, but it kind of freaked me out for a minute. Also, a part of the S chipped out as well. Now, you can always fix it, but it's pretty irritating when it happens, especially if you're doing something huge like, I don't know, a 4x8 sheet of plywood and then it's just chipping all over the place. So before you do like a really big project with a piece of plywood, make sure you kind of do a little test piece and see how chippy it's gonna be. The last bit we're using is the 90-degree bit at 3/16 of an inch deep. And this really only took like maybe 3 minutes total to do all of this work with a 90-degree. All I'm doing is going back through all of the carving I did, and I'm taking out any extra wood. But this is a big reason why you want to do your carving fairly deep, even in the little bass where I gave myself more room. This is a wide cutting bit, and it's really easy to nick something when you don't want to. So make sure as you're doing all your carving that you're going deep enough and you're giving yourself enough room to come back with your 90-degree. I wanted to do something different for this edge, so we decided to use the braided wire wheel. Now I went at this 2 different passes on each side. I went at an angle like I'm doing here, and I'm kind of taking some gouges out, and then I flattened it out. And what I was kind of going for is to like slowly wear through each one of the plies, and it gave it actually kind of a cool burn look. Now, is this my favorite edge? No, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool, it's different, it's got a different look to it, but I do like that it's natural. We didn't spray this, and it has this worn look too, but it's totally different than anything else that I've done, really. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave some comments, tell me what you think. I don't know if I'll do this again. I don't know. Little side note, if you use this wheel for anything, make sure you wear face protection and a full face mask, because it will throw wires like nobody's business. And I also wore gloves too. I know they say not to do that, but I don't care what they say. I'm a grown up. I can do what I want. So we taped off the edges because we're going to leave those natural, and then we sprayed this with our primer. There was really no fear of bleeding, but still I was trying not to overspray. But getting in the fishing pole and the fishing line, it was kind of hard to get enough in there to where you could see it, but also not spray so much that it puddles up. For the sanding operation, I really had to be careful with this because I did not want to go through that veneer because I wanted a clean look. So I used an 80 grit disc on the disc sander and then a 120 on the random orbital. And if I was really going to be careful, I would have just done the whole thing with the random orbital using the 80 and the 120. Because that disc sander, man, it takes off some serious wood real fast. Then we use our Rust-Oleum clear and we gave it a nice clear coat. And we actually ended up putting on, I think, 4 or 5 coats on this particular sign. And we'll probably use it as a giveaway.
There it is, guys. So, I don't know. I mean, the edge is okay. It does frame the artwork and everything, but it's not my favorite, but it's definitely something different, which is really what I wanted to try. So you can definitely carve plywood, but like I said, make sure you choose plywood with a thick veneer so you don't sand through it if you want a clean sign. I'll leave a link in the description below for everything we used today, including the Wishing I Was Fishing stencil. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, ryan@makeawoodsign.com. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.